If you're running for any office, but especially for the mayor of New York City, few news outlets matter more than the New York Times. And last night, the editorial board of the Old Gray Lady said Anthony Weiner should withdraw from the race. The lead paragraph of the op-ed reads, quote, "At some point, the full story of Anthony Weiner and his sexual relationships and texting habits will finally be told. In the meantime, the serially evasive Mr. Weiner should take his marital troubles and personal compulsions out of the public eye, away from cameras, off the web, and out of the race for mayor of New York City." More accusations against Weiner appeared on the Nightlife website. The Dirty. The site claims Weiner sexted with a young woman both before and after his resignation from Congress back in 2011. Screenshots of their alleged online conversations were also posted. The Times continued, saying that it is the timing of this newest revelation that matters, quote, "as it would for any politician who violates the public's trust and then asks to have it back." During a press conference on Tuesday, Weiner claimed that the behavior is behind me and that his run for mayor will continue. The board declares Weiner's statement, quote, "ridiculous." The New York papers had a field day, obviously, with the news. Here's a look at some of the covers. We'll start with the Daily News saying, "Beat it." AM New York, "The Good Wife." I love this one. Newsday had "Stands by her man." In the New York Times, Weiner admits explicit texting after House exit. New York Post, "Meet Carlos Danger." And last but not least, Metro had Weiner's danger zone. It's a very entertaining morning for the New York news outlets.
They're basically saying what a lot of people are thinking, which is, we forgave you, you got your second chance, but you don't get a third chance. Once you messed up, you resigned, and then if the timing of this is what matters. If he had had this relationship, during his congressional term, it wouldn't have been as big a deal as it is that he carried it on with this 22-year-old woman, a year, 6 months after he already resigned. It's like, learn your lesson.
During the same week he was doing the profile in People magazine.
Exactly, and it's
saying that he's a changed man.
And it sort of speaks to his compulsion. It's one of those things where, we can't trust you if, he may actually have serious issues that who knows when they'll bubble up again.
For him, from a campaign perspective, it was important to have his wife, Homa Abedin, speak and address the media for the first time. She really doesn't do that. For her to speak publicly like that in support of him was sort of certainly an effort to quickly put it behind him and just move on to other issues. And that is, the issues that he's trying to tackle in his run for mayor of New York. And I think the campaign will try to focus very much on the race and just put it behind them and make sure this doesn't become a distraction. But like you just said, he seems to have a real problem, and there seems to be concern that he can't be trusted. It might be waged against him by opponents and critics who don't want to see him ultimately win this race. And if it doesn't go away, then it could become a big problem. The other thing that could be problematic is if more information surfaces, if there are more revelations. I think that's why he tried to be very clear about the timeline and say, yes, this did continue even after that People magazine spread. Because if he had been dishonest there and said, this was the last, I promise, and then you find out about more, he kind of left it open-ended.